Greetings from the Motherland kings and queens. I hope all is fair and well on your side, because all is fair and well on my side. It's a little bit hot today. This time of year, the sun is scorching, scorching hot. But I want to share with you guys, for one, how I ended up coming to Ghana and what it is that I do to make money while I'm here in Ghana. For one, I want to tell you a little story. In 2014, I was living in Houston, Texas. Well, I'm sorry, 2013, I was living in Houston, Texas. Had the slightest idea that I would ever be able to move to Ghana, let alone be able to own land and build a house. I never thought that would be me. So at the time, I was struggling, living check to check in Houston, Texas. And actually, I was like about $12,000 behind on child support. And a Mexican friend of mine was telling me, since I have my Class B CDL, that I can get a good job, but I have to travel. And at the time, I did not want to travel and step outside my comfort zone. And that's what's wrong with a lot of people right now. They are afraid to step outside of their comfort zone. So I didn't want to do that, and I did not want to leave my friends and my family. But I almost went to jail for child support. Didn't even know that you can go to jail for child support. I was on probation for it. So I took the job in Michigan. It's a tree job. When he first told me about it, just like the average black person would say, man, black people, we don't do that kind of work. That's not the kind of work for us. So I took the job. And by my name being Emilio, I fit in with the rest of the Hispanic people. I did that type of work. Well, when I first got on, I was making some pretty good money. I I had a lot of child support back, arrears that I had to pay off. I ended up paying all that off to zero balance. Don't have any friends or any family that ever paid off their child support to zero balance. Anyway, but I did it. All right. And what made me responsible, because I was the only black guy working with all of these Mexican guys. And when these guys would get their check, all of them will always send their money to either Mexico, Honduras, Cuba, or something like that. So as I got to know them, most of these guys had nice houses in all of these countries. Some guys had little clubs. Some guys had little hotels. One guy, he had his a dentist. Regular workers, just like me. Things that's almost impossible for you to do with the dollar in America. But by you sending your money to a other country, it's a lot of things that you can do. So I mimicked what these guys were doing, but I didn't have nowhere. I didn't have a country that I can send my money to. So I ended up doing a little research, and I found a couple of American people that was here living in Ghana, as well as I found a Ghanaian friend to, help me find some land. All right, so that's how I end up building, buying land and building the house here. They end up making me supervisor about 6 years later. 6 years later, I ended up becoming a supervisor, making some really, really good money. And it allowed me to build this house, and pay off all of the debt. And I had a lot of debt. You hear me? So when I became supervisor, it allowed me to have more vacation time than the time that I had when I was a regular worker. I was coming like two, sometimes three times a year coming here. All right, but my vacation that I took in 2022, I believe. Yeah, the vacation I took then, I was supposed to come here in May on a 3 week vacation. And even though I made really, really good money, this job was a headache. I mean, a headache. Even though I worked 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, whenever I was off of work, I was still working. I worked so much, I didn't even have enough time to even spend the money. So, right before my vacation, I just told my boss, you know what? I quit. At the time, I had a little change saved up. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to come to Ghana and relax my mind. I did that. I came to Ghana and I stayed for about 3 or 4 months. And something hit me in the head, like, you know what? Because I was trying to find a few businesses here. And the good paying businesses was a little bit too much money from what I had. I had it, but I was going to sort of go broke. All right. So I called a friend of mine. He drives trucks. And I asked him, bro, what can I do to invest in something so I can make money so I can be able to survive in Ghana. He said, well, a guy up here where we work, he's trying to sell his truck. I like, really? How much you trying to sell it for? He said 21,000. Now I didn't know anything about trucks, but me and the guy had a mutual friend that was looking for a job. So I called him and I asked him if he want to drive for me, and he said yeah. So I had him to go look at the truck, and he called me back and said, bro, if he's selling this truck for this amount, you need to hurry up and jump on this truck. Not only it's nice, but it runs really good. I bought the truck. I was like, man, now I'm ready to come back and live like a king here in Ghana. I left Houston, Texas. I went back to Michigan to pack up my things so I can get ready to come back to Ghana. While I was there, I was scrolling on Facebook and I saw somebody selling another Freightliner. The first truck that I bought, it was a Freightliner. So I said, I'm gonna buy that truck too. I bought that truck. I bought it in Michigan, and I ended up taking it back to Texas. So that gave me two trucks that I had driving for the same company. Okay, I did that, and I was like, hey, I'm coming back to Ghana. By the time I made that investment, I probably had about, I don't know, about $14,000 left, and I came back. Not knowing when I come back, my very first driver, he got a lot of complaints from the company, with him making mistakes and things like that. And I ended up having to let him go. When I let him go, I kept my other driver. My other driver, a damn good driver, a natural born hustler. Work ended up slowing down. Work ended up slowing down, which was still okay because it don't take a lot of money to live in Ghana. It do not take a lot of money to live in Ghana. My thing was this big old heart of mine. When my friends and my family saw that I had two semi trucks, everybody was calling me for their help. And I did not tell anybody no. When I say almost everybody on my mother and my daddy's side, I gave everybody loans thinking that I'm building up a team of people that's going to help me. So whenever I get in the bind, I can call them. That was not the case. As you guys know, I made a video saying that I might have to come back to America because those same people that still owe me money right now today could not even help me. But anyway, my thing is there's multiple things that you guys can do. Like this year, now that work is starting back to pick up, I'm going to make it my number one priority to start a business here in Ghana. That way, I will not have to rely on America. As you guys know, I have this Airbnb that I'm working on. I have not been able to put a brick or a block on it. But my goal is to finish that this year by any means necessary so I can have this income and the other small business that I'm thinking about opening here. Uh, because again, like I say, you cannot rely on the dollar. But for some of you people, if you want to try this, I'm not sure how much money you have, but it would be a good idea if you was to buy one semi truck or maybe two, or some of you guys got money. I don't have money. Everything I did, I had to work like a Hebrew slave to get it. Even building this house, I did not have the money saved up to build this house. I did this every check for a long time. I was giving like $1,000 every check. Some checks 500, 500. That's how I built the house straight out of my pocket. Having semi trucks is a really good investment, but the money that I needed for truck repairs, that's what I gave away. Truck repairs was hitting me up for 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. I even had a $10,000 truck repair. So imagine that, along with friends and family. But anyway, there are so many things that you can do to invest. Have you a American business that can pay you decent money as if you're trying to build. This worked for me. It may not work for you. Some of you guys have a lot of capital. I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler. I'm that kind of guy that will try to turn a nickel into a dollar. That's me. But anyway, you guys stay tuned. Subscribe to this video if you have not liked it already. Like it, share it with all of your friends. And there's another video that I'm going to have coming up soon. It's going to let you know how much money it takes for you to survive in Ghana. Coming up, we belong in Africa.